On the broadcast here tonight for episode 6 of the third season for NBC Nightly News, the latest is on our top stories. Like always, our show begins right now. From Studio 13 of Angora Terrace, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, this is NBC Nightly News with William Perry White Jr., presented in part by Tide Laundry Detergent. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Week. My name is Mr. William. It feels so good to be back with you, despite the fact that I took some time off. It is April 6, 2026. Let's begin with the latest on what's going on in the wide world of news. A Texas mother gets accused of child abuse by doing some serious damage to her 3-year-old son. With that being said, she should be ashamed of herself for doing that. We have further details about that story only on the NBC News mobile app and online at NBCNews.com. 25 people were confirmed dead and were told that strikes continue in Iran. We get the latest from our NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky as he gives you the latest on that. Good evening and take it away, Morgan. And that was my good friend Morgan Chesky to kick off the broadcast here tonight. Morgan, as always, thanks. There is still so much more nightly news to come when we return. Stick around. We are so glad you're back on NBC Nightly News. Let's turn to an in-depth story. A small plane makes an emergency landing as it made its way to the Pennsylvania Highway 78. It all took place yesterday on the Interstate 78. No one was hurt, and the cause of the investigation now continues. Wildfires continue to spread in the Golden State of California. With that being said, wildfires are very, very dangerous, and sometimes they could be fatal. We get the latest from our NBC News correspondent, who's like an aunt to me, identified as Ann Thompson. Good evening, Auntie Ann. Take it away. Thanks so much for your report, Auntie Ann Thompson. History was made for UCLA as the ladies win themselves the national championship. They defeated South Carolina, all thanks to many players. The men's national championship will take place later on tonight at 9 o'clock. You can catch it on TBS, True TV, as well with TNT. The cable networks are all part of Warner Media. When Nightly News resumes on a Monday night after this brief break, we'll have more top stories and we'll have more headlines that are still in tonight's news. So we'll be right back right after the break. We are back this evening on NBC Nightly News. Last week, former Attorney General Pamela Bondi got herself fired by way of President Donald Trump. She has no place to go. The acting Attorney General, Mr. Todd, is definitely going to be the talk of the town. And with that said, he's going to talk about everything that is still going on in the wide world. We have further details about Mr. Todd Blanche on the NBC News app and online at NBCNews.com. As of Thursday, last week's stock market started to falter up and down like a roller coaster. However, you can get further updates about the stock market whenever possible. In lottery news, no clear winners were announced in the mighty Powerball from Saturday, and no clear winners were announced as of Friday for the Mega Millions. Up next, after a brief break, here on this Monday evening for NBC Nightly News, there's even more top stories and more headlines to cover. We're coming right back, so stay right where you are. We are back on NBC Nightly News. You may not believe this, but the Philadelphia Flyers have clinched a playoff spot. That's where they defeated the Boston Bruins in yesterday's performance. They're hosting the New Jersey Devils later on this week. The Sixers may have lost their game to the Detroit Pistons, but they better get themselves together next game. Trust me. However, we have further updates about the Sixers. You can check NBC Sports' website as well as the NBC Sports mobile app. The Phillies lost the game to the Colorado Rockies. This time, they're hosting the one and only San Francisco Giants to begin a three-game series up in California, in San Francisco to be precise. Pre-game begins at 9 p.m. tonight. The full game starts a little after 9:30. We'll be back to wrap up NBC Nightly News in just a moment. Stay right where you are and don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. That is the end of our nightly news broadcast for this Monday evening, April 6, 2026. Thank you so much for being here with us. My name is Mr. William, reporting tonight from my new stay-at-home studio, identified as Studio 13, since I called it that when I first did my NBC Nightly News broadcast back on September 7th of last year. As always, we hope to see you really, really soon for the next episode of NBC Nightly News, as it will be episode 7 of the 3rd season. I look forward to be seeing you then, folks. Remember to show kindness, consideration, and everything else with family, friends, loved ones, and ones that you care about the most of all the time. Good night and pleasant dreams.
Nightly News is a special presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.